Imagine the Indus River, thousands of years ago. The sun blazes, painting the water gold. Birds sing in the reeds. A woman grinds barley, humming a tune passed down through generations. A potter shapes clay, imprinting it with beautiful symbols. This is ancient India, before history was written, when the seeds of Hinduism were sown. They built cities, traded and crafted exquisite jewelry. But their inner lives remain a mystery. In their reverence for river, earth and sun, we glimpse something profound, something that would evolve and endure for millennia. This is the enigma of Hinduism's origins. Imagine a time before writing. Knowledge is precious, carried within the hearts and minds of people. Stories, myths and rituals are passed down orally, from parent to child, teacher to student. Each generation adds its own layer of understanding, its own interpretation of the world and the divine. This is how the earliest strands of Hinduism were transmitted. Imagine ancient priests chanting hymns to the rising sun, their voices echoing across the water. Imagine families gathering under the vast night sky, sharing tales of gods and heroes. Imagine the hushed reverence as offerings are made to the sacred rivers, the mountains, the trees themselves. These stories, these rituals, these acts of devotion weren't seen as separate from daily life. They were woven into its very fabric. The divine was not distant or removed, but present in every aspect of existence. In the breath of the wind, the crackle of fire, the beating of one's own heart. This oral tradition continued for centuries, shaping the spiritual landscape of ancient India. But around 1500 BCE, a new chapter began with the arrival of a new group of people and their sacred texts, the Vedas. But before the Vedas, there were other stories etched not in words, but in earth and clay. In the Indus Valley, a civilization as sophisticated as any in the ancient world flourished. They built cities with intricate drainage systems, traded across vast distances, and crafted stunning works of art. Among their artifacts, we find enigmatic clues to their spiritual beliefs, terracotta figurines of mother goddesses, suggesting fertility cults, small altars and fire pits, hinting at domestic rituals, and most intriguingly, the famous Indus seals. These carved squares of clay bear images of animals, deities, and mysterious symbols that continue to baffle scholars. Do these symbols represent an early form of Hinduism? Some scholars see connections between the seated figures on the seals and later yogic practices. Others point to the prevalence of certain animals, like the bull and the elephant, which hold significance in Hindu mythology. The truth, however, remains elusive. The Indus script remains undeciphered, locking away its secrets. The connection between the Indus civilization and later Hinduism is a matter of debate, a tantalizing puzzle with missing pieces. Yet the possibility of a link, however tenuous, adds another layer of intrigue to the story of Hinduism's origins. Around 1500 BCE, the Indo-Aryans migrated to India, bringing with them sacred hymns called the Vedas. These hymns, memorized and chanted, are a window into their worldview. The Vedas speak of many gods: Agni, the fire god, Indra, the king of the gods, and Surya, the sun god. Rituals, especially fire sacrifices, were central to their practice. The Vedic period marks a turning point in Hinduism's development. Concepts like karma, dharma, and reincarnation all trace their roots to the Vedas. As centuries passed, a new set of questions began to occupy the minds of thinkers and mystics. The rituals and hymns of the Vedas remained important, but there was a growing thirst for deeper understanding. This spiritual quest found expression in the Upanishads, a collection of philosophical texts that emerged around 800 BCE. The Upanishads are dialogues, often between a teacher and student, that delve into the nature of reality, the self, and the universe. They introduce the concept of Brahman, the ultimate reality, the eternal essence that pervades all things. And they speak of Atman, the individual soul, which is ultimately identical to Brahman. This realization, that the self is one with the universe, is at the heart of the Upanishadic worldview. It is a profound shift from the earlier Vedic emphasis on external rituals to an inward journey of self-discovery. The Upanishads mark a significant departure from earlier Vedic thought. They are more philosophical, more introspective, and more concerned with the inner experience of the divine. They introduce concepts like yoga and meditation as paths to realize the unity of Atman and Brahman. From the philosophical depths of the Upanishads, Hinduism continued to evolve, branching out into a rich tapestry of stories, songs, and practices. Two epic poems, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, emerged as cornerstones of Hindu thought and tradition. These epics are not just entertaining narratives. They are vast repositories of wisdom, exploring themes of love, duty, betrayal, and ultimately, the search for dharma or righteous living. Within these stories, gods and goddesses interact with humans, guiding their actions and shaping their destinies. But Hinduism's evolution didn't stop there. Over centuries, it absorbed influences from various cultures and traditions. It encountered Buddhism and Jainism, incorporating elements of their philosophies. It faced the arrival of Islam and later Christianity, adapting and evolving in response to these encounters. This openness, this ability to adapt and embrace, is at the heart of Hinduism's endurance. It's not a monolithic religion with rigid boundaries, but a flowing, ever-evolving tradition that honors diverse paths to the divine.